When watching this video, you will realize that Nigeria is already a divided nation. My people, come here wetin dey happen o. As this Alhaji abi I go call am Mutula start for the one channel. Dey vomit nonsense wey dey for im mouth. He say that Peter Obi im own cause na to divide Nigeria. But in the other hand, people wey be like am don give am wetin dem call woto woto. And I go also play you a video of the marginalization of Ndi Igbo. May you understand, because there's some Igbos who say, we don't have sea, we don't have sea. Mugu, we have the shortest access to every sea in Nigeria. You see, when we come to sea, we have the shortest access to every sea you can imagine of. When we say Lagos, how many kilometers? When you say from Onitsha, even Onitsha, this Onitsha river, to connect it with the sea, you will see that Calabar seaport, you will see that so many seaports you can imagine that is in Southeast region. We have the shortest access to the sea. But why are we still suffering today? Is because of some of our ignorant money. Our people, some of our people have sold out for money. And when listening to what this man they talk, you understand that Nigeria is doomed. When you hear doom, Nigeria is doomed. Watch this video before we come back and continue.
Where do we even start talking about marginalization of the Igbo man? Take, for instance, the issue of establishment of seaports. I was a student at University of Calabar. There was a time there was a seaport at Calabar. There was a time the Port Harcourt seaport was working. There was also a time that they have this other one, I think a Warri. And then I think the One port, so I think Port Harcourt, they have One, they have, is it 2 or 1 or whatever they have in that particular area. Now, and do you also know that Southeast, or this region, or Old Eastern region, is any ship that is coming from outside Nigeria, first of all, passes southeast before it gets to Lagos. And so if a ship is coming from London, it gets to southeast first before it gets to Lagos. You talk to the Atlantic Ocean, the ocean there, that it flows from here. Even the biggest part of that ocean is in this area, not even in Lagos.
So they intentionally skip
the idea,
and send to Lagos,
purposely to make Lagos a super state, the idea of a mega city. There was a time the Port Harcourt port was working, and when our people that were doing shipping and forwarding agency business, many of them came down to Port Harcourt. They were working, they were happy. Suddenly, they now stopped. The Calabar port closed, the Port Harcourt port closed. And then they said, everybody now go to Lagos.
And Lagos is even saturated at the moment.
Lagos is oversaturated. Recently, the president went to London, to UK, and we had the negotiated that there was this plan. There was whether somebody else, the British or so, the government wanted to invest in Nigeria seaport or whatever, and a huge sum of money was raised. And that was meant to be used for the Apapa and the Tinkan port, and possibly the other port that is in the Lekki area. Now, the Port Harcourt port was not mentioned. The Calabar port was not mentioned. The Warri port was not mentioned. Meanwhile, these are the area that services the people. Now, talking of marginalization, the greatest number of people that import goods from outside Nigeria are the Igbo people. Now, if you now have to import, it gets to Lagos. For you to bring a container from Lagos to this place, it takes more than ₦1 million.
Wow.
Not just that, just the cost of transportation. Because we live in a country that, one, the railway system is not working.
Yes.
And the waterways are also not working. So it has to be through the road. And anytime there's an increase in petroleum price of petroleum prices, the price of haulage increase.
Peter Obi, up to this moment, he is pursuing division of Nigeria.
How?
How? Because
is that right? I mean,
because
what evidence do you have to say that?
He believes in Biafra. He never condemned Biafra. He never condemned iPod.
Is Biafra a bad thing?
Biafra is secession. Our country leaders fought to keep the country together. He wants to divide Nigeria. Deny. He should come out to this station and say he doesn't believe in division of the country. He should deny. I am confronting, telling him this is what he stood for. And Nigeria in 2026, today, we have gone past that long time ago. Because our leaders today, Nigerian leaders, a lot of them are having bullet wounds in their body. People like Obasanjo, General Yakubu Gawan, T.Y. Danjuma, late General Shua, late General Abacha, all of them have a bullet wound in their body in order for Nigeria to be together. Anybody aspiring to lead Nigeria must be someone who stands for Nigeria, not for any section. Last time you invited me here, I told you that people like Peter Obi will never in one political party because he's pursuing an agenda. If he cannot be a presidential candidate, he will move out. I told you here. He said, how about you? Ask me how am I sure? Today, he has gone to like two political party to become a candidate.
Is that a crime?
It is a crime. If you really wanted to succeed in Nigeria today, you don't pursue an agenda of one section of a country. If I, Ali Sharif, will come out here and say that no, I only believe in Borno State, not in Nigeria, then I'm not fit to be a Nigerian.
Hello and welcome. My name is Magnus Oraka, and this is Woto Woto TV. You know, let's be very honest with ourselves. There are people somewhere who have vowed that the status quo must remain, that an Igbo man will never be president. Let's underline that. And this man you see in the picture is a former governor of Borno State, Senator Modu Sharif. He said that Peter Obi is not fighting to become the president of this country, but is fighting for Biafra. That he has not condemned IPOD, that he wants to split Nigeria. And trust me, this is a narrative that has been handed down to generations of youths in the north. That is why most northern youths don't want to vote for an Igbo candidate. But let me break all that, Senator Modu Sharif. My name is Magnus Oraka. I schooled in the University of Maiduguri when you were the governor of Borno State. I want to tell you, Senator Modu Sharif, I was taking a motorbike. I was looking for somewhere in the house. And we meandered through some roads, and I saw one mighty fence painted all in gold, pure gold plated. The whole wall was gold plated. In fact, everywhere in the house is gold. That was then. That was way back, early 90s, 91, 90 or 91, way back. And all the people around you are living in poverty. The houses there are not even compared to 1% of the cost of your house. I understand that the mosque in your house, you use you use 500 million naira to build it. That's some billions of naira now. Now, let us face your comment that Peter Obi is fighting for Biafra. First, you make the name Biafra look as if it's demonic. An Arewa man will call himself Arewa, no problem. A Yoruba man will call himself Odudua, no problem. An Igbo man will call himself Biafra. Oh, all hell broke loose. There's nothing wrong with being a Biafran. That is the identity that they've chosen to call themselves. That is the identity they call themselves. Just as the Hausa man have identified themselves as Ariwa, that is how the Yoruba man has identified himself as Odua. They have chosen to identify themselves as Biafra. I don't see a problem with that. Now, is Peter B coming to fight for Biafra? Hell no. Certainly not. That Peter B didn't condemn IPOB. The fact that you condemn IPOB does not mean every Igbo man should condemn IPOB. IPOB, for starters, they are not terrorist group. IPOB don't go to church and bomb church. IPOB don't strap bombs on their body. They don't leave southeast to go to other people's land to go and say, no, we want to claim and drive people off their land. Your narrative cannot be our narrative. That the federal government proscribed IPOB as terrorists, but has since today refused to proscribe Boko Haram, ISWAP, whatever, Takarawa, whatever, as terrorist group. I mean, come on now. You cannot force your narrative on us. For me, I may not like the ways of IPOB, but they are a secessionist group who feels marginalized and want a country of their own. They are not saying Nigeria must be their country. No, they want part of Nigeria. But because the likes of you, Senator Modu Sharif, believe that every single part of Nigeria belongs to your caliphate, your power brokers group, you want the Igbos, the Yorubas, everybody to be under you. Whether you like it or not. If it has been stated somewhere that an Igbo man cannot be present, then everything IPOB is fighting for, I support 100%. Everything IPOB represents, I support it 100%. I am not a slave in my own country, and certainly no northerner can claim to be superior to me. What, lie? It cannot work. Peter B is not coming to fight for Biafra as a Nigerian president. Peter B is not going to declare IPOB as terrorists just because the North said IPOB is terrorists. The real terrorists are the one going into bushes, and the real terrorists are the one taking our families into the bushes. They are the one blowing up churches, blowing up mosques, blowing themselves up, disturbing the peaceful state of the nation. Those are terrorists. IPOB are simply asking for their own country. And you said no. Okay, let us live together. You said no. Let everybody have equal opportunity to rule this country. You said no. It must be a case of master-servant, where the North are the ones ruling, the rest of us are slaves. Now you're having a taste of your own medicine from Tinubu. How it be? Well, I'm not going to say much. Whether you like it or not, Peter B is the solution to bringing Nigerians together. And that we want. Peter B for president. My name is Magnus Oraka. Please follow this page and share this post now.
My people, when I don't see how my city they happen, share this video and drop your own opinion in comment section.